Now we're going to go to the gentleman who really shouldn't be on this panel. He should be a special guest. He is a special guest. And I believe you have a little preview of coming attractions for him, don't you, Fat Dragon?
Mr. Condor, what's up?
Everybody knows this legend.
Were we all supposed to have one of those? I didn't get one of those.
I know.
You didn't? But
you guys are all holding them up.
The audience, do we have a clip of him in action?
Here it is.
Let's go.
Check it out. Let's check out the man.
20.
Ôi, quên phải đi thì chóng lên kìa.
Thằng này cô à.
Hey, there's the guy.
Yeah.
Well, Vincent has been a guest at the Kung Fu Extravaganza at the San Diego Comic-Con, and he told a story there about that sequence. Vincent, come on. We don't know.
You want to hear that story again?
I've heard it many times. I can hear it many other times, but many of our viewers may have never come to the Kung Fu Extravaganza before because...
That is true. That is true. You know, before that, I was just, you know, the interview I did for the booklet of the new '88 film. Oh, there you go. Okay. It's like a 20-page interview. It's quite impressive. So you guys should pick it up. Okay, where should I jump in? The last fight scene. There was one period I was on the set for 39 days straight. Not a day off. And in between that, some days, because I was shooting 2 other films at the same time, Robotrix and Fury in Red with Wong Lung-Wai. And of course, you know, no green screen, no blue screen, so everything, you're harnessed and wired up. And I've always said, when the way one feels, you feel like your balls are being crushed. I mean, in a vice. That's literally how you feel.
The hand of God.
The hand of God. That's
puffing your privates.
So that shot, that last shot of me kind of somersaulting through the air, and I hit the slat, these big wooden slats that were that the set was made up at the Shaw Brothers studio in Clearwater Bay in Hong Kong. And Jackie was standing on a podium, so he had 4 Panavision cameras set up for this shot of me to hit my head. And of course the stunt team said, you know, look, just brace for it, you know, tuck your chin down, because, you know, you're going to hit hard. The thing is, they didn't know how hard I was going to hit. So they had about 2-3 guys pulling this wire. and I wasn't being catapulted fast enough. So then they got 3 guys and 4 guys, and basically it was half the stunt crew were yanking on this wire, catapulting me through the air. And of course, I hit the slat, cracked the back of my head open, and I'm dangling like a marionette in the air. The stunt team pulled me towards Jackie because Jackie was on the main camera, and I'm, kind of swaying back and forth. I put my hand on Jackie's shoulder, and Jackie said, "You okay? You okay? Because we're going to do it again in 15 minutes." And I basically collapsed right there in front of him. My back of my head was cracked open. And basically, I didn't even go to hospital. They put some duct tape over the back of my skull. And I took a rest. It was a little longer than 15 minutes for them to, set the shot up again. But yeah, I'm still brain dead from this, many decades later. Yeah.
Hardly. I just want to say to all of you, Vincent is pretty much the quintessential example of true Kung Fu, because I've known him since that movie, and I knew his other movies and the other things he's worked in. I've watched him change and grow. He's basically a living romantic novel character, because in addition to being a model in Hong Kong and a musician in Hong Kong doing some top 40 work, and the actor in all those movies, when he came back, Vincent has always interested in being a hero, and he tried it in the cinema, but now he's trying to in real life. He's played 4 concerts at Carnegie Hall. He's a Grammy Award-winning musician, and now even more. If you see my book back there, Films of Fury, behind me, as well as my movie on Amazon Prime, Films of Fury, the Kung Fu movie, we define Kung Fu, the word, as human achievement. And that's what Vincent is doing. He is now, you want to talk about it, or should I talk about your charity?
No, I can talk about it, whatever. You can talk about it. Yeah. You're talking about the foundation. So I started a foundation a little more than 6 years ago called We Can Save Children. It's a non-profit. I have been traveling constantly for the past 6 years. I recently hit 121 countries when I went recently, just this past month when I was in the Azores. So yeah, I've been traveling all over the world, from East to West Africa, in Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, all throughout the Middle East. And basically my foundation, it protects the rights of children, which is a United Nations sustainability goal, what they call the SDGs 16.2, which is the exploitation of children, everything from child refugees to child orphans to child soldiers to trafficked children, you name it. So that's what my foundation does, protects the rights. And I've spent quite a number of years doing rescue and recovery of children in these war-torn countries. And actually, just this few weeks ago, a book I started writing during COVID, actually March of 2020, just came out on Barnes & Noble, called Childhood Lost, about my humanitarian exploits and endeavors around the world. And please, anybody, if you get it, make sure you also bring a box of Kleenex with you, because you're going to need it. But it's a labor of love, and that's I've spent a good portion of the past 6 years doing this. So,
and a great example of how you take all your talents and bring them to bear on whatever positive thing you're trying to create is our next video, which we just completed. in, where was it, Portugal?
Well, actually, this song is called "Just Imagine People United," and it's a song for global peace. The support is by the institutional support of actually the Portuguese government, and I spent the last 2 months in Portugal recording the piano parts with the cellist who plays for the Philharmonic in Portugal. The lead vocal by Melissa B was recorded in New York. The Ugandan choir, which is youth that I aid through support, scholastic supplies and clothes and so forth, they recorded their parts in Kampala, Uganda. So it's kind of astonishing that we've been able to really do this song during, with a pandemic. And so all the parts were recorded in Uganda, Portugal, and the US, and then it was completely remastered all together in New York. So it really was just released internationally, worldwide, I would say 5 days ago, and it's already debuted at number 3 and number 4, because we've also done a remix on worldwide iTunes charts. So we're already at 3 and 4, and according to Armada Records distribution of Sony, we're supposed to hit number 1, they reckon, by tomorrow. So we shall see. Yeah.
Now you also wrote this song, did you?
Yes, I did. I wrote the song. Yeah.
Well, you brought a video. Let's hear the song.
Please.
The time has come for everyone to look inside of your home. Don't run away from what's inside of you. Together we are stronger. The light of love shines in us all, reminding us who we are. Illuminate the very part in you that will outshine the darkness. The universe is out of time. A song of love for peace of mind. We are here, open up your heart as one. People united. Look at us, every one of us is drawn to love from within. Don't hesitate to let them know what's true, and love is worth believing. The light of love shines in us all, reminding us who we are. Illuminate the very part in you that will outshine the darkness. The universe is out of time. A song of love for peace of mind. We are here, open up your hearts as one, as one, as one. People unite.
Hey, Fat Dragon, rack that up for the end of the show.